lapse from the statute of limitations. So, but hold on the lawfare thing, because this is important, we didn't get to this at all today. What is more likely, that Donald Trump went almost 80 years of his life never once having a criminal indictment because he's a guy who...
He was president. Things changed.
Well, I mean, all of a sudden, he's never committed a felony, and then
he becomes president, and the circumstances are the same.
No, well, they were going after things that were long before he was president. But okay, fine. If you don't like that argument, there's one other argument. They held all of these charges until the election. It is clear manipulation.
Laura Coates laid out what she sees as the Democrats' ultimate strategy in a heated interview on Real Time. Utilize the legal system to undermine political opponents, particularly Donald Trump. Without holding back, she declared, Trump's indictments are a clear case of lawfare, adding that they will take place during the 2024 election season. Bill Maher, however, denied the accusation, saying it was a foolish attempt to deflect attention from Trump's real legal problems. Coates' opposition, however, sparked concerns about Americans' capacity to trust a legal system that appeared to be impacted by political considerations. This contentious debate brings up an important question. Has the court system been hijacked for political purposes, or is this just another conspiracy theory to bolster Trump's legal disputes? Let's have a look at this fascinating discussion.
All the indictments, until the election
all of the
year,
charges except the dressing room rape
which they
one.
extended the statute of limitations, and then she was funded. The whole thing was a hit.
All the other ones have to do with he was in office.
Right.
He was the president. He asked
not
for
the civil trial for Trump. There was the civil thing with the Trump Foundation. There are so many that it's hard to know what we're talking about.
The nature of the investigations dealt with factual allegations that surrounded his term in office and beyond. Yes, there is a reason he was never investigated for having interfered with the presidential election, because he wasn't running.
You also can't have it both ways, because when the House moves to impeach Trump on January 13th, the cry from the right is, where's the due process? Why are you moving so fast? What's the deal? But then when Merrick Garland chooses to take his time and be deliberate in bringing these indictments, Republicans are saying, oh, you're dragging your feet now to wait until it's election season. So which is it?
I hope you do sports betting or something, because the idea...
On the one hand, Coates' argument highlights the peril of politically motivated litigation, especially when it targets well-known people during election seasons. If the public feels that the legal system is being used to influence elections or undermine certain candidates, their faith in its impartiality may be weakened. If people believe the system is too closely tied to political interests, they may question the objectivity of any major court case involving political leaders. Maher's emphasis on accountability, however, draws attention to another equally significant point. No one should be above the law. Public trust in democratic institutions is based on the idea that everyone is treated equally, regardless of status. If significant charges against powerful individuals are abandoned or delayed to avoid political optics, it might create the appearance that elites have different standards. Additionally, this would be detrimental since it would promote pessimism and the notion that some individuals are untouchable. Coates now seems to be struggling to disprove Maher's assertions. Let's watch to see how she responds.
The idea that a number of these different cases, all of these charges involve conduct that was all of them. There's all these 4 different criminal cases, at least 4 years ago. You're going to tell me that all of this had to wait until the election year to bring the charges? You're going to tell me that Jack Smith, for those who don't know, was moving at lightning speed with the help of Judge Chutkan in D.C. They were moving, ask any federal prosecutor, ask anybody who has actually looked at how long. I'm just talking about timelines, by the way. The whole thing was meant to kneecap him before he could actually get to Election Day, and it was meant to destroy him for political reasons in an election year.
And yet it's only helped him.
It is the biggest own goal the Democrats have ever had in their lives.
Buck, let's ask a federal prosecutor. One's here. One of the reasons why this was delayed, in part, was not simply a matter of proactive or affirmative motions by the prosecution. There was a defense team in multiple different jurisdictions who were filing motions to then delay and ask for delays and delay after delay. If the calendar had been such that what the prosecution alone wanted, you would have had earlier resolution, at least in the form of trial, not necessarily a conviction, but he's filed motions to defend himself, and that has also delayed the calendar.
I don't know.
Throughout the 4-person discussion, Laura Coates is the object of criticism. Not only does she fail to alleviate the situation, but her comments seem to excite Buck Sexton, who is increasingly ready to join the argument. Will Coates be able to hold her ground under this pressure? This conversation is getting heated. If you're enjoying the discussion, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more engaging videos.
Hold on. There are 4 different criminal proceedings against Donald Trump, okay? 4 of them.
Yeah.
And
he has defended himself.
there's New York, there's D.C., there's Atlanta, there's Florida. Florida's been tossed out, by the way, so that's what a great case that was. These were all
a real Trumper of a judge.
But you can't have it both ways. I mean, Judge Chutkan clearly hates Trump and was sending January 6th, some of them nonviolent detainees, into the prison system for like 18 months.
Can I ask you a more philosophical question?
Sure.
Because there are people who are watching this who, I know people, because I live in Los Angeles and Hollywood and all that, and they will say, why are you even talking to him? And I have no patience for people like this. They can kiss my ass. I will talk to you all day. First of all, half the country agrees with you. Are they all going to self-deport if one of the
No, and honestly, could I first of all, thank you for that. And I just would add to it, like, the people who are saying that he's Hitler and the country's going to end, it's not true. It's going to be okay. He's already been president. If he becomes president again, you'll probably have a Democrat who comes around in 4 years.
No,
it's not the end of the republic. Let's start placing bets.
It could be.
You want to start, you know what I mean?
It could be.
Play some money on this one? I know you got a bankroll, buddy. You know, we can start, you know what I mean? I hear stories.
I do. That's my Mets. Okay. No, well, first of all, he could. Absolutely. He's too erratic. There's just no way you can say he's not going to do this and not going to do that. But
he's not going to destroy the country.
He's
going to do a great job, actually, but you don't agree with me on that.
Well, what's your definition of destroying the country? Is sabotaging the peaceful transition of power the hallmark of American democracy? Is sabotaging that?
According to Laura Coates, the marches and disturbances of the Black Lives Matter movement throughout the summer may have put pressure on the voting process, causing some voters to feel intimidated or influenced. She claims that these actions created a divisive and aggressive atmosphere that could have affected voter sentiment and ultimately the outcome of the election. However, Buck Sexton contests this assertion, asserting that social movements and protests do not call into question the legitimacy of an election. He emphasizes that even while social and political developments may stir emotions, the voting process itself must remain a safe, unbiased institution that is unaffected by outside factors. This dispute highlights a more extensive conversation. When assessing an election's integrity, should social or political elements be considered? Could large-scale social events erode confidence in the democratic process? How can we preserve free and fair elections while defending democracy against external threats? The most important question remains in the present situation. So, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.